It's funny, isn't it? We live in this incredibly hyper-connected world. We're constantly plugged in, always available, it seems.
Hmm. Always on.
Yeah, always on. But somehow, paradoxically, so many of us feel more fragmented, maybe more disconnected than ever
It's the
before.
paradox of our time, this
Yeah,
outer connection, but inner emptiness.
exactly. That inner emptiness, it feels pervasive sometimes, like we're drowning in this sea of notifications, deadlines, all the external demands.
Right.
And all the while, there's this quiet, sort of persistent yearning inside, something deeper. We crave peace, clarity, a genuine connection that goes beyond just, Wi-Fi
A
signals.
stillness
Yeah.
in a world that just doesn't stop moving. It's a deeply human longing, isn't it? An anchor in the storm.
Hmm.
And, it's interesting because this isn't actually a new feeling. It might feel very modern, very 21st century, but it's not.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For millennia, ancient Indian traditions have pointed towards a really profound answer to this exact feeling. They talk about the Jyoti, Jyoti. It means the eternal inner light. And they say it shines potentially in every single heart. It's a foundational idea.
Wow. So way before smartphones and deadlines.
Oh, thousands of years
Yeah.
before. It's a timeless solution, really, to what feels like a very perennial human challenge.
And this inner light, this Jyoti, it's described in, well, quite a few ways, isn't it? I was looking at our source material. They just called it Atman.
That's right, Atman. The true self, the individual soul, but also understood as part of the universal spirit, Brahman. It's that core essence.
Okay. And then poets, they talked about it as love.
Yes, as love, but, in its purest sense. Boundless connection, divine compassion, the very fabric connecting everything.
And mystics, the ones who really experienced it directly.
They often described it as a flame that never goes out, like a constant beacon inside us, illuminating the path no matter how dark things seem outside or even inside.
A flame that never goes out. It's a powerful image.
It really is.
Yeah.
And what's so crucial, I think, for our discussion today is that this wisdom, this idea of awakening the inner light,
Yeah.
it's not about running away.
Right. Not escaping to a mountaintop.
Exactly. It's not about retreating to some secluded cave or an ashram somewhere and leaving society behind. That's a common misconception.
Yeah.
Instead, the real core idea, and our sources pray us beautifully, is that awakening this light is about a fundamental shift. A shift in how we engage with life.
How we engage.
Yeah, how we live, how we breathe, and crucially, how we perceive the ordinary moments, the mundane stuff, daily existence.
So transforming the everyday.
Precisely. Bringing the sacred into the everyday rather than searching for it somewhere else in some far-off, idealized place.
Okay, so that's really our focus for this exploration then. How this ancient wisdom, particularly these Indian traditions, offer a way to, well, transform the mundane into the sacred. Right here, right now.
In our ordinary lives.
Yeah, we want to look at the practical insights, the connections from the material, and understand how you, listening, can actually awaken this inner light, not by ditching your life, but by embracing it more, fully, more consciously.
That's the heart of it.
It really is remarkable when you think about it, the sheer volume of stuff. Information, stimulation, it just bombards us, and it often leaves us feeling perpetually stressed out, anxious, deeply distracted.
Constantly pulled in different directions.
Totally. We've got all this incredible technology, right? Supposedly designed to bring us closer, free up our time, connect us globally.
Promises.
Right. And yet, often we're struggling just to find a single moment of stillness, real quiet, amidst all that noise. How on earth can we find that inner calm, that quiet center, that genuine presence when the world is just so loud?
It's the question, isn't it? It resonates so deeply.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating, as we touched on, how this very modern, very contemporary yearning connects directly back to this ancient wisdom from India. The source material really highlights this. It presents this concept of Jyoti, the inner light, not just as some, nice poetic metaphor, but as a foundational principle of our being. It's like the intrinsic luminosity of our true nature, our deepest essence. It's described as this inherent state of peace, of clarity, that's often just obscured, hidden.
Obscured by what? The noise.
By the noise, exactly. By the mental chatter, the external pressures, what the ancient texts sometimes call Maya.
Maya, like illusion.
Yeah, the veils of illusion, distraction, the stuff that keeps us from seeing clearly.
Okay. So this inner light, this Jyoti, it's not something we have to, build or achieve or earn.
No, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
It's something that's always already there, waiting to be revealed.
That's a big shift From striving to uncovering.
It's a profound shift. It's an inherent quality, an indelible part of who you are, just hidden under those layers of Maya.
Hmm.
And as the source notes, this Jyoti has been given, well, many names across different paths within India, but they all point to the same fundamental truth.
Like Atman.
Like Atman, yes. Sages, through deep contemplation, self-realization, they identified it as Atman, the universal self within the individual, unchanging, eternal, and ultimately they understood one with the universal consciousness, Brahman. It's like the whisper of eternity within our temporary lives.
Wow.
Then the poets, using the language of emotion, of devotion, they spoke of it as pure love.
Right, you mentioned love.
Yeah, but unconditional, expansive love, a force that connects everything, that sees the divine spark in, well, in every creature.
And the mystics again, with the flame.
The mystics, through their direct experience, often intense spiritual practice, they described it as that unquenchable flame, a light that cannot be put out even in the darkest times. Moments of despair, sorrow, the flame remains.
That imagery, an unquenchable flame, it's just incredibly powerful. It suggests something constant, unwavering, a source of strength.
It does, an incredible resilience, a core strength that persists no matter what challenges we face, outside or inside. And the really profound insight, the thing the source emphasizes, which I think is so liberating, so vital for us today, is that awakening this light doesn't require that escape we talked about. Not the forests or caves, not severing ties or adopting some extreme ascetic lifestyle that feels completely out of reach for most of us.
Which is what many people think spirituality demands, right?
Exactly. That's the common misconception. But instead, it demands something much more subtle, yet in its own way, quite radical.
Okay.
It requires, as the source puts it, a shift in how we live, breathe, and see the ordinary moments of daily life.
Seeing the ordinary differently.
Yes. Finding the sacred within the everyday, infusing our mundane activities, the stuff we do without thinking, with consciousness, with intention, rather than constantly seeking meaning somewhere else, somewhere distant or idealized. What's truly fascinating, really, is how this ancient wisdom, forged in contexts so different from ours, speaks so directly to our experience right now, this feeling of inner emptiness, even when we have outer success. It offers a path to wholeness, to integration, without demanding we blow up our external lives. It asks for an internal reorientation. A simple but profound turning inward.
That is powerful. Because, let's be honest, spirituality can often feel, well, distant. A bit esoteric, maybe, especially in our fast-paced lives.
Hard to relate to sometimes.
Yeah. We picture, I don't know, ancient gurus on mountaintops or practices that seem to need hours of quiet time that just, it's not feasible for most people, juggling work, family, everything else. So how do these ancient practices, especially from India, stay so relevant, so accessible today?
That's a great question. And this is where I think the inherent genius, the remarkable adaptability, this Indian wisdom really comes through. The source points out this isn't a new challenge for these traditions.
Oh.
No, it's proof they're living traditions. For centuries, these practices have been constantly reshaped, reinterpreted, presented in ways that meet the needs of people then, in their time.
So they've always adapted.
Exactly. It's a living stream, not a rigid monument stuck in the past or just confined to old texts. This constant evolution, this willingness to flow and adapt, that's absolutely key to why it's still so relevant. And we see this happening right now, actively, globally. Well, the source highlights this really fascinating modern phenomenon. You see younger generations, millennials, Gen Z, they're not just sort of vaguely interested, they're actively integrating this wisdom.
Really?
They're using the tools of their time.
Right.
It's not just about reading dusty scrolls. We're seeing a huge surge in dedicated apps, podcasts, global sanghas, these communities of seekers, often online.
Sanghas, like communities.
Yes, communities. They help people weave these age-old insights right into their very demanding modern rhythms of work, study, relationships. It's quite amazing.
So it's not about forcing modern life into an ancient box, but the wisdom itself is flexible enough to fit modern life. That's a key difference.
Precisely. That's a perfect way to put it. It shows this incredible fluidity.
Yeah.
They distill the essence, the core teachings, and apply them to very contemporary challenges. Things like digital burnout, performance anxiety, the search for authentic connection online and offline. If you connect this to the bigger picture, like the source suggests, it shows that real wisdom isn't rigid. It's fluid. It flows into new forms, new expressions, but keeps its essential core. It reaches people wherever they are, whatever their lifestyle, whatever their access to, say, traditional temples or teachers. It makes it genuinely accessible.
That feels incredibly liberating. The idea that spirituality isn't locked away in a specific place or time or only accessible through certain people, it really challenges that whole separation of the sacred from the everyday. Because this is where it gets really interesting for me, this radical idea in the source. The sacred is not separate from daily life at all. We tend to compartmentalize, right? Spirituality is for Sunday morning or that yoga class or the retreat.
Exactly, we put it in a box.
Yeah. But the source is saying it can permeate every single moment. It can transform the whole fabric of how we live.
Exactly that. It's about dismantling that artificial wall we build between spiritual life and ordinary life. And the source gives these really concrete, relatable examples, vivid examples. It shows how the most mundane things can become profound opportunities.
Like what?
Well, it says cooking can become prayer. Just think about that for a second. The simple act of preparing food, if you do it with mindful intention, with gratitude for the ingredients, maybe with love for who you're cooking for, it elevates it. It's not a chore anymore.
It becomes an offering, a meditation in motion.
Beautifully put, yes. And similarly, work can become service. Whatever your job is, if you approach it not just as, punching a clock or for personal gain only, but as a chance to contribute something, to help, to serve, it transforms it. It gives it deep meaning.
Okay. And walk.
Walking can become meditation. Instead of just rushing, lost in your head, planning the next thing, what if you brought full awareness to each step? Feeling your feet on the ground, the rhythm of your breath, the air on your skin, actually noticing the sights and sounds. That simple act becomes a profound practice of presence. It anchors you right here, right now.
So it's really less about what we're doing and much more about how we're doing it. The quality of our presence, our intention, that changes everything.
That is precisely it. The crucial element, underlined again and again in the source, is this. What matters is the presence we bring to each act. It's the quality of attention, the intention you infuse into it, that makes the ordinary sacred. It's not about changing your job or your routine necessarily, but changing your internal relationship to them. And this raises a really important question, I think, for you listening right now.
Yeah.
What if every single mundane thing you do today, washing the dishes, answering that email, your commute, just making a cup of tea, what if it held a spark of the sacred? If only you were fully present to it.
How would that change your experience?
Exactly. What would genuinely shift in your experience of life if you approach those moments with awareness? Seeing the value, the opportunity for connection in each one. It's a powerful invitation, really, to infuse every moment with deeper meaning.
Okay, so this all sounds wonderful. Ancient wisdom, shifting perception, finding the sacred. But how do we actually do it? What are the practical steps? We need the how-to, right?
Right. Theory is great, but practice is where the transformation happens.
Exactly. And the source does outline some clear, actionable paths, ways to actually awaken this inner light in daily life. This is where, the rubber meets the road.
Indeed. And the source provides a kind of practical toolkit, which is great. It makes these timeless practices feel accessible, actionable. Let's dive into them, understand what they are, but also maybe how they work, how they help reveal that inner light.
Okay, lead the way. What's first?
First up, we have meditation resting in awareness. Now, there's a common misunderstanding about meditation, isn't there?
Yeah, that you have to force your mind to be totally blank, which feels impossible.
Impossible and often frustrating. People give up because they think they're failing. But the source clarifies this beautifully. It busts that myth. It says meditation is not about emptying the mind, but rather the art of resting in awareness.
Resting in awareness. Okay, what does that mean?
It means consciously placing your attention on something, usually an anchor like your breath, and then just observing, watching whatever comes up, thoughts, feelings, sounds, without judgment, without grabbing onto them, but also without pushing them away.
So just noticing.
Just noticing. And the real insight isn't just, oh, I feel relaxed, though that's a huge benefit. It's realizing that the mind naturally finds stillness when you give it the space. It's less about doing something to quiet the mind and more about undoing the habits of distraction, revealing the calm that's already there underneath the chatter.
So it's more about noticing the mind's habits rather than trying to wrestle it into submission, cultivating a relationship with your inner world.
Exactly. A gentler, more observant relationship. The source mentions specific techniques, widely practiced, very effective. One is simply sitting quietly, finding a comfortable posture alert, but relaxed, and just allowing yourself to settle. to be present.
Okay.
Another is watching the breath, using that natural rhythm, the inhale and exhale as your anchor. Mind wanders, which it will.
Constantly.
Constantly. You just gently, kindly bring it back to the breath.
Where?
Over and over. That's the practice, a continuous dance of awareness.
Okay. And mantras. It mentions repeating a mantra like so.
Yes, so that's a particularly powerful technique. It's Sanskrit, and it translates profoundly as I am that.
I am that.
Meaning I am that universal consciousness, I am divine. It's an affirmation of your connection to everything. And what's fascinating about Som is it's believed to be the natural sound of the breath itself. So on the inhale, ham on the exhale. So by consciously repeating it mentally, you're synchronizing your mind with your breath. And you're intrinsically affirming that unity. It's a direct, embodied reminder of oneness. The steady rhythm helps quiet the chatter, bypass the analytical mind, and draw your awareness deeper inward.
And the benefits, beyond just feeling calm.
Well, the benefits are huge, and science is now catching up to what yogis knew for millennia. Regular meditation, the source confirms, lowers stress, sharpens focus, and awakens compassion. Studies actually show it can change brain structure and function. It can reduce activity in the default mode network, the part linked to mind wandering and self-focus, cultivating real calmness and clarity. It literally rewires your brain for peace.
Wow. Okay, so meditation is key. What else?
Next, the source talks about visualization igniting radiance. This is fascinating. It highlights how our imagination can be a sacred tool.
Sacred. We usually think of imagination as just daydreaming, maybe. Escapism.
Right. We often underestimate it.
Yeah.
But yogic traditions talk about bhavana. Yeah, B-H-A-V-A, and it means creative contemplation. Or cultivating a specific feeling or intention through imagery. It's not passive daydreaming. It's active, intentional. You're consciously shaping your inner world with imagery and feeling.
Okay. So you're using your mind's eye intentionally, like reprogramming your inner state.
Exactly. You're aligning your inner state with your aspirations. The source gives some potent examples. Visualizing light in the heart. Imagine a warm, radiant glow expanding from your chest, filling you with peace, love, healing energy. This isn't just symbolic fluff. It can trigger real physiological and emotional shifts. Or visualizing a lotus blooming inside you. The lotus goes from mud but blooms beautifully, symbolizing purity, growth, enlightenment emerging from life's challenges.
It's a beautiful image.
Isn't it? Another powerful one is the rising sun. Imagining it dispelling inner darkness, bringing warmth, clarity, new beginnings. These visualizations, the source says, are tools to nurture healing, strength, and purpose. By directing your imagination consistently, you can dissolve old limiting beliefs, cultivate positive emotions, reinforce your connection to that inner light.
And people do this now with apps and things.
Absolutely. That adaptability, again, we see guided visualizations, apps, group circles emerging. They blend these ancient roots with modern creative expression, making these inner practices really accessible and engaging for today's world.
Okay. Meditation, visualization. What's next on the list?
Then there's prayer, a dialogue with the divine. And the source broadens our understanding of prayer here. It emphasizes it's not limited to tradition or scripture.
So not just reciting specific words from a holy book.
Not necessarily. It's presented as something deeply personal, authentic, a direct communion from the heart. Less about petitioning some external being, perhaps, and more about aligning with that universal presence that's both within us and all around us.
So less formality, more heartfelt connection, a direct line.
Absolutely. Prayer, in this sense, can be incredibly simple, spontaneous. It could be just a quietly whispered thank you for something good, fostering gratitude, or a heartfelt help me when you're struggling, a sincere call for guidance, acknowledging you're not alone, or even just a silent sigh of surrender. You know, when things feel overwhelming, just letting go of the need to control, trusting something larger.
I could see that being prayer.
Right. And beyond spontaneous moments, the source also mentions more structured things, like chanting mantras, using sacred sound vibration, or writing gratitude notes, a tangible way to focus on the positive. Whatever form it takes, prayer acts as a bridge between human longing and universal presence. It connects us to that unseen dimension, fostering humility, hope, peace.
And younger people are connecting with this too.
Yes, it's fascinating. The source notes they're rediscovering it as personal, authentic, free from rigid dogma, making it their own, fitting their beliefs, not just inheriting something imposed.
Okay. Makes sense. And the last one.
Finally, we arrive at breathwork awakening presence. This is huge. The source calls the breath the most immediate and powerful bridge between body and spirit.
Immediate and powerful. Why?
Because It's always with us. We do it constantly, mostly unconsciously. But it holds immense potential when we bring consciousness to it. In India, pranayama, the yogic science of breath control, is fundamental. It's known for its profound ability to calm the mind and energize the body.
Pranayama, that's about controlling the breath.
Consciously regulating it, yes. Because the breath isn't just air. In yoga, it's understood as prana, the vital life force itself. By consciously working with prana through the breath, we can directly influence our nervous system, our mental state, our energy levels.
Wow. So it's like a direct lever to our internal state. We can actually use it to shift things.
Absolutely. Directly influence the nervous system, the mind. The source points to specific techniques, popular now, very accessible, alternate nostril breathing, nadi shodhana.
Okay, I've heard of that. Breathing through one nostril then the other.
Exactly. It helps balance the brain hemispheres, promoting clarity and calm. Then there's the humming breath, Brahmari. You make a gentle humming sound on the exhale.
Like a bee?
Sort of, yeah. It's incredibly soothing for their nervous system, activates the vagal nerve, promotes deep relaxation, and the 4-7-8 method.
Oh, yeah. Inhale 4, hold 7, exhale 8.
That's the one. Credited often to Dr. Andrew Weil. Excellent for stress relief and better sleep.
Yeah.
Slows the heart rate, triggers relaxation, especially that longer exhale. It signals safety to your nervous system. And the practicality is key. The source gives that great tip. Just 3 conscious breaths before a meeting or meal can shift the quality of the day.
3 breaths. Everyone can do that.
Everyone. It's simple, immediate, brings presence, calm, intention right into the moment, changes your state in seconds. What's so amazing about all these meditations, visualization, prayer, breath work is how universal and accessible they are once you grasp their essence. No special gear needed, no specific location. They're always available, powered by your own breath, your intention, your awareness. They're fundamental keys to unlocking that inner light.
Okay, these practices, meditation, visualization, prayer, breath work, they sound incredibly powerful, really transformative. But, the thought that often comes up is time. We think we need hours carved out for spiritual practice for it to count or make a difference.
It's a huge barrier for people.
Right. Life is busy, schedules are packed, modern life feels relentless. But the source seems to suggest something much simpler, something more integrated into our daily flow. How do we actually weave this stuff into life without it feeling like just another chore on the to-do list?
That's such a common and totally valid concern. And the ancient wisdom actually addresses this head on. The good news, as the source makes really clear, is that spirituality need not demand hours of devotion.
Okay, that's a relief.
Isn't it? It's not about these grand time-consuming rituals or, locking yourself away. What truly matters, the source says, are 2 key things: rhythm and sincerity.
Rhythm and sincerity, not duration.
Not necessarily duration. It's a consistency, however brief the practice, and the genuine intention, the heart you bring to it. That's what creates the shift. A truly conscious 5 minutes is way more potent than, say, an hour done mechanically just because you feel you should.
So consistency over intensity. Even small doses matter more.
Exactly. Small, regular doses. The source gives these lovely, tangible examples of how this integration can actually look in a modern life. It shows it's not a separate thing, but a quality you bring to everything. For some, it might be a simple 5-minute morning routine.
5 minutes, like what?
Imagine lighting a lamp. Maybe just a small candle, or even turning on a desk lamp with intention as a symbolic act, inviting light and awareness into your day. Then taking 3 deep breaths, really centering yourself, feeling your body arriving in the present moment. And maybe whispering a word of gratitude for the day, for your breath, just for being alive. That's it.
5 minutes, that feels doable.
Totally doable. And it sets such a powerful tone. For others, maybe it's a slightly longer 15-minute blend of breathwork, meditation, and prayer, maybe before work or to wind down at night.
Yeah.
A sacred pause to recalibrate. The point is finding a rhythm that works for you, something sustainable, nourishing, not burdensome.
Okay, finding your own rhythm.
But it goes even deeper. The source reinforces that idea we touched on. Even everyday tasks can become sacred when approached with awareness. This is where it gets really transformative, dissolving that separation between spiritual and mundane.
Right, like the cooking example.
Exactly. Stirring food with gratitude, infusing the act with love, appreciation for the nourishment, seeing it as service, or walking mindfully, turning a commute or a stroll into a moving meditation, being present with each step, the world around you, instead of lost in thought. Even something tiny like pausing before sending a message, taking a breath, checking your intention, considering the impact. That transforms a potentially reactive moment into a conscious one, fosters better communication, more compassion.
So it's about infusing moments with presence, not just scheduling spiritual time.
Precisely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, like the Source suggests, spirituality isn't an add-on to life, something you bolt on. It's a way of living it, a quality of presence, intention, awareness that permeates everything you do. Your whole life becomes the practice.
That's a beautiful way to frame it. Makes it intrinsic, not external. But life happens, right? We start with the best intentions.
Yeah.
And then we get distracted, pulled away by a million things. Or doubt creeps in. Is this even working? Or we genuinely feel like we just don't have the time or the energy. What about those moments, the obstacles? How does the Source guide us when we struggle or feel discouraged or like we failed?
It's absolutely crucial to expect obstacles. They will come up. This path isn't always smooth or linear, and the Source is very real about this. It names those common challenges: distraction, doubt, lack of time. We all face them.
Yeah.
We're not aiming for some kind of spiritual perfection here. It's about persistence. But the wisdom offered is so encouraging, so compassionate. It says, each return to the practice is itself progress.
Each return is progress, not just staying perfectly on track.
Exactly. Not about never falling off or having a flawless meditation record. It's about the willingness to come back, to begin again. No matter how many times you wander off, every single time you notice you've drifted, lost in thought, caught up in worry, and you gently, without beating yourself up, bring your attention back. Back to the breath, back to your intention, back to now. That is a profound success.
So the noticing and returning is the practice. A gentle correction, not a harsh judgment.
Precisely. It builds that muscle of awareness. And crucially, self-compassion, not self-criticism. The Source shares this vital piece of advice drawn from generations of teachers. It is better to do a little daily with sincerity than to wait for the perfect moment that never comes.
Don't wait for the perfect moment.
No. It frees us from that tyranny of perfectionism. Small, consistent, heartfelt effort is far more effective than waiting for some ideal scenario that might never happen or trying for some grand gesture you can't sustain. It's like planting a tiny seed and watering it a little each day rather than waiting for a giant tree to magically appear.
Okay, small, sincere steps.
Yeah. Which leads to a good question for you listening. Given your own life, your own circumstances, what's one small, sincere step you can take today to invite that light, to return to your practice, even just for a minute or two? 3 conscious breaths. A moment of gratitude before eating. What feels possible right now?
That makes it feel much more achievable. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the inner journey, the individual practices, but the Source also really highlights the strength we find in community. It says we don't walk this path alone, or shouldn't.
That's such a crucial point, and easily overlooked in our often very individualistic culture. In India, spiritual life has traditionally always been nurtured within sanghas.
Sanghas, right, the communities you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. Gatherings, communities of seekers. They provide this vital space for shared learning, mutual support, practicing together, and just that sense of belonging. It can really sustain you through the tough patches and amplify growth. And this tradition is incredibly vibrant today, both offline and online. Shows how relevant it still is.
So not just an ancient thing.
Not at all. The Source points to modern examples. You have traditional meditation groups meeting in person, satsangs, those spiritual gatherings with discourse, maybe chanting, but also WhatsApp circles for daily inspiration, keeping people connected, and Zoom gatherings, bringing people together across continents.
So using modern tools for that ancient need for community.
Absolutely. The essence is the same. The shared journey, the collective intention to support each other's growth. The Source specifically mentions story-sharing circles, places where people can talk openly, honestly, about their struggles, their breakthroughs, their insights, without fear of judgment.
That sounds powerful.
Immensely powerful, because they remind us that no one walks the path alone. It combats that feeling of isolation, normalizes the challenges. Just hearing someone else voice what you're experiencing can be incredibly validating. Inspiring.
Yeah, I could see that.
And it's fascinating how technology, which we often blame for distraction and disconnection,
the irony.
Right, it's actually becoming this powerful tool for connection in this context. The Source puts it beautifully. Technology, often a source of distraction, can also become a digital temple connecting seekers from Delhi to Dublin, from Rishikesh to Rio.
A digital temple. I like that.
Me too. What's fascinating is how that ancient communal spirit thrives, innovates in our digital age, offering support, connection, dissolving geographical barriers.
That's really inspiring, using tech as a bridge, not a wall.
Okay, so when we do this,
Yeah.
when we consistently cultivate this inner light through our personal practice and with the support of community, what happens? The Source talks about journeys of transformation unfolding, not just inside, but rippling outwards.
Yes, that ripple effect is profound and tangible. The Source shares these lovely, specific anecdotes, real-life examples. Think of a student easing exam anxiety through daily meditation.
Okay, practical benefit. Right. But it's more than just calming down for one exam. It's developing an inner resource, resilience, clarity to navigate stress throughout life, or consider a professional rediscovering balance through breathwork before meetings. That simple pause can change the whole dynamic of a high-pressure situation. More composure, better decisions, better interactions, greater well-being and effectiveness. Or a family finding harmony by praying together each evening.
Yeah.
Consciously cultivating connection, gratitude, peace right within the family unit, creating a little sanctuary of calm.
These aren't just abstract ideas, they're real changes in real lives, making things tangibly better.
Exactly. And these stories reinforce that message. Spirituality isn't about grand gestures, but steady steps. It's the accumulation of these small, mindful, consistent actions that leads to the big shifts inside and out. And the impact doesn't stop there with the individual.
It ripples outward, you said.
Yes, the source is clear. As interchange deacons, it ripples outward. This is where we see the societal potential. We see teachers bring silence into classrooms. Imagine the impact on learning, on student well-being. Entrepreneurs lead with compassion, building businesses that value people and planet, not just profit, redefining success. Activists sustain their energy through mindfulness, preventing burnout, fueling their work for change with inner peace, resilience, clarity, making their efforts more effective, more sustainable. The message is so powerful. Awakening the inner light doesn't just uplift you, the individual. It uplifts entire communities. It contributes to creating a more compassionate, more conscious world. One breath, one mindful action at a time. It's like a quiet revolution starting from within.
It really sounds like this journey, this awakening. It isn't a final destination you arrive at, put your feet up and say, done. It seems more like a continuous unfolding, a path that just keeps deepening, expanding the more you walk it.
Precisely. That's exactly how the Source presents it. Awakening is not a destination, but an unfolding, an ongoing process of discovery, growth, remembrance, a lifelong pilgrimage into the depths of your own being. As you get more comfortable with those foundational practices we discussed, meditation, visualization, prayer, breath work, the journey might naturally expand. New avenues might open up.
Like what? What might come next?
Well, for some, it might mean exploring yoga nidra.
Yoga nidra, yogic sleep.
Exactly. That powerful practice of conscious, deep relaxation. It guides you into that state between waking and sleeping, allows for profound rest, insight, healing. Others might delve deeper into mantra chanting, using those sacred sound vibrations to purify the mind, elevate consciousness, connect with subtler energies. Still others might feel drawn to silent retreats, periods of immersive, quiet, intensive practice, a chance to really deepen that inner connection, experience sustained peace away from daily distractions.
So it's about following what resonates, what feels like the next step for your own growth, letting the path reveal itself.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Organically. And the Source also mentions other important avenues, often complementary. Things like shadow work.
Shadow work, dealing with the difficult parts.
Yeah, bravely exploring and integrating those repressed, unconscious aspects of ourselves, the bits we hide or deny. Bringing awareness, acceptance, it leads to greater wholeness, authenticity, freedom. Journaling is another powerful tool meant
For self-reflection.
a private space to process thoughts, feelings, gain insights without judgment. And mentorship can be vital too. Getting guidance, wisdom, support from someone who's further along the path, helping navigate challenges, maybe accelerate growth.
So many potential paths forward.
Many paths. The forms might vary widely for each person, but the core essence, the Source reminds us, stays the same. It's about living with awareness, compassion, and courage, bringing those qualities into every part of your life.
Awareness, compassion, courage.
Yeah. And here's the really crucial reminder, the absolute core truth underpinning all of this, stated so beautifully in the Source. And I find this just immensely liberating. The inner light is already present. It does not need to be created, only remembered.
Already present. Just remember.
Exactly. You're not trying to manufacture something new. You're just unveiling, removing the layers of conditioning, distraction, forgetting. Obscure what has always been there, your inherent nature.
Wow.
Every conscious breath you take, every heartfelt prayer, every small act of kindness. Each one becomes a step closer to that remembrance, to rediscovering the peace, the wisdom, the boundless love that's right there inside you. Which brings up a final question, perhaps, for you listening.
Yes.
What aspect of your own inner light, that inherent peace, that wisdom, are you ready to remember or maybe explore next? What small, sincere step will you take today to honor that remembrance, knowing it's truly your birthright?
That's a powerful question to sit with. We've really covered some profound ground today, exploring this ancient Indian wisdom of the Jyoti, the inner light shining within each of us. And the core message feels so clear, so empowering. It's not about escaping modern life, is it? It's about transforming our experience within it.
Weaving the sacred right into the ordinary.
Yeah. Finding peace, finding clarity, even amidst all the noise. And realizing that by nurturing our inner world, by tending to that inner light, we actually start to radiate that peace, that compassion outward, touching the world around us.
And in these times, times of uncertainty, rapid change, collective anxiety, the call to awaken this inner light feels more relevant, maybe more urgent than ever. It's an invitation, as the Source so beautifully puts it, to return to the source within, to that deep wellspring of calm, connection, wisdom that's always there in your own heart, your core. It's about recognizing your own inherent luminosity, not as something out there to find, but as an ever-present reality, just waiting to be remembered.
So as you, listening, go about your day after this discussion, maybe just remember that simple, profound invitation from the Source. It's an invitation to yourself, really, to discovery, to transformation, available right now in this very moment. May you pause, breathe, light a lamp, and step into your journey knowing the light you seek has always been within you.
Beautiful. Always within.
Carry that flame.